Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Pause the video right now to check out my social media, my radio show, and thatdrummerguy.com. And most of all, enjoy the following presentation. Hello.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Well, awesome. It's about time I finally got the chance to be able to talk to you about everything that you got going on, and of course with the way the explosion that's happening right now with Cold.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely really fun to be a part of.
Oh, well, awesome. Well, start things off first. How did you get involved with Cold Kingdom?
Well, I actually knew Jason and Danny prior to Cold Kingdom even being a thing. Jason and I were in, we kind of came up together. I want to say I've known him for about like 6 or 7 years now. We've played dive bars and basically in front of each other because there was no one else there. And Danny was trying to start up a band before Cold Kingdom, and she liked the way I played drums and asked me to be a part of it, and I kind of ignored her, which is actually kind of funny to look back on the old messages now because they're obviously all saved on Facebook and stuff. And to fast forward 5 years and have us be in the same band doing what we're doing is pretty crazy. And so yeah, the Cold Kingdom got together and released that first record prior to me joining. And as bands grow, they grow apart, or people decide it's not for them anymore, and their drummer Pat at the time decided that it wasn't for him anymore, and they asked me to audition.
Yeah, and it's funny how life works out that way. I mean, like knowing the people that you know and just the situations that come, especially in this area, it's awesome to see that you are a part of this band. I mean, when you listen to the new album that's out now, I mean, it feels like you're such a natural fit for Cold Kingdom.
Well, and that's exactly what it was too. It was huge that we had all already known each other, and like I said, me and Jason know each other for 6-7 years, Danny for about 4 or 5. And my old band played with Cold Kingdom quite a bit. I want to say we played about a dozen shows together. So there was no weird sort of like, is this going to work? Are our personalities going to clash? Is this or that? No, I walked right in, and here we are about 2.5 years later now.
Yeah, I think it's about right. Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah, and it's so awesome to see what's also happened with you personally as well. I mean, it's just like your drumming is getting even tighter. I mean, the Mapex endorsement. I mean, that's so awesome to see that. And
that was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah. How did that come to be?
Well, let's see, when was that? Was that last year? Yeah, it was last year. I got to go to NAMM. Cold Kingdom performed at the Electro Voice booth all 4 days at NAMM last year, and you have time to kill. You walk around, you look at all your favorite companies, you look for famous people to take pictures with, and obviously I played Mapex for 10 years just because I liked the product. And thanks to some assistance from my buddy Andy Butterman, who used to run the Drum Loft up in Minneapolis.
Oh yes.
He has a tight connection with the Mapex guys, and he got me in touch with the right guy, and we talked, and I sent him my resume and the tour dates and what Cold Kingdom was doing, and he's like, "I love it. Welcome to the family."
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mapex has always been such a great drum company, and the fact now that you're able to endorse them while being able to go out on tour, I mean, playing your favorite drums like that, I mean, that's just got to feel like a dream come true.
It really does. I've owned 3 Mapex kits now. I got one for a graduation present after high school, and then I bought another one on my own, and then I bought one last year with the deal that I got from Mapex. And to get your first, I got my first real kit after I graduated high school, and it was a Mapex kit. Then I bought my own kit with my own money, which was a Mapex kit, and then I bought my first endorsed kit, which was a Mapex kit. So it's just every time that it gets shipped to you in the mail, and you open up that box and you see that finish for the first time, it's something that's unmatched.
Absolutely. So when that came to be with like the Mapex kit, and you're finally able to be getting a kit while being endorsed, what did you want to get in a new kit?
Well, first off, they obviously have to be quality drums. They have to be drums. And that's exactly what Mapex is. The Saturn line are unmatched. They're so easy to tune. Like I can basically set a head on it, just do some adjusting, because I have one of the worst ears in the business. I couldn't tune a fish. I really couldn't. But But you set that head on, you just give it a few good turns, tap it out, and all of a sudden, like, it's not even fully in tune yet, but the resonance on it is so good that it makes me look good at what I'm doing. Like, I've had sound guys, ask, oh man, these drums sound great, blah blah blah. Who's doing it? I'm like, I did, barely. Thank God. Thank God.
Oh, that's just so cool. And yeah, I mean, that really says a lot for the quality of Mapex. And it's so awesome to see that they stand behind you. I mean, with just like with everything that's exploding with the band right now, like all these great opportunities that you get around here and the upcoming touring that's going to be happening too. I mean, the fact that you got not just Mapex, but the other endorsements that's going on throughout the band. I mean, it's great to see all these companies in support of you guys.
Yeah, the first big one was Electro Voice. Obviously one of the biggest names in loudspeakers and microphones, which happened to be a Minnesota-based company. So that's where our friendship kind of got started. And then Mapex and ESP and Stay in Tune Strings and WB Gear, which covers a lot of different guitar accessories and all that sort of jazz. It's really rad to see these companies, are looking at us and go, yeah, we want them to play our product, which is it's a rad feeling.
Yeah, and it's also got to be a rad feeling when you're up on stage and you got all this great quality equipment on there. You got these quality songs, and you're opening for such great bands. You're touring with such great bands, and just like everything going the way that a band really should be going. I mean, it's awesome to see that happening with you guys.
And it's great to be a part of. I've seen a lot of bands do it. To bring up tomorrow, we're all going to the Nothing More show tomorrow, and we have watched that band grow. We saw them open for 12 Foot Ninja in front of 100 people 5 years ago or something like that. And to watch them grow and blow up as a band kind of revitalize, like, oh, we can actually do this. Like, we watch somebody do it. It can be done. You just need to put out good songs. You have to find your people. You can do it.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, like with the quality of albums that you guys have now, and of course the newest one featuring your playing on there. I mean, that's gonna be such a great feeling to be able to join a band, and especially when you guys are really starting to take off. It's from the album that you actually got to play on.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, obviously the first year and a half I was playing the songs off the debut record, which, I mean, I love those songs. I'm not knocking them, but to finally get that physical CD that has my playing on it, on songs that I had my touch on, that's just it made it feel even more real than it already was.
And with that, since joining Cold, having like a year and a half of playing someone else's songs, having your own little spin on there, I mean, like every drummer does that, but
right.
How much have you changed when it came into your playing as in Cold Kingdom?
I think just calming down. When I was teenager and early 20s, I wanted the Portnoy triple bass drum set and play all the polyrhythms and this and that, and then you get into a rock band and you find that inner Phil Rudd, that inner timekeeper that goes, oh, if I can just groove, I will serve the song so much more, and I will find my spot to where drummers and musicians will appreciate it. But I'm not looking to cater to just musicians. I'm looking to cater to the music listener who just wants a good song.
And with that, I mean, obviously, working on the songs beforehand, before recording them, what was it like to get into the studio and be able to record these songs like that?
It was actually a challenge. This record, this EP, was done with Eric Bass, the bass player from Shinedown.
Yeah,
he produced it. So we went. We were at his studio for 2 weeks, just about 2 weeks, from nothing to something. We came down with 15 songs. We chose 5, and we went, all right, here we go. We have 11 days left. Let's record this thing. So everything you hear was done in about 2 weeks. And the simplicity really came through when Eric wanted to record the drums. He called it Dave Grohl's Queens of the Stone Age style. We recorded the drums first, strictly drums, and then another take was strictly cymbals.
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually remember reading about that. I think it was in Modern Drummer when Dave Grohl was getting interviewed about Queens of the Stone Age, and I just found that to be like one of the most fascinating drum recording styles. And that's awesome to see that you went with that approach too.
It was, I will straight up say it was very difficult. I'm always down for a challenge, but I've always been into the very like Morgan Rosie sort of player. players where they use a lot of drums into cymbals in the middle of their fills, which I've loved the accents on bells or crashes or chinas or whatever. But to do that in different takes while hitting an accent on a cymbal without hitting the cymbal, but then you go back on the next take and you have to hit that accent on the cymbal without hitting any drums. So all my fills, all my grooves, all my everything were blueprinted out to an absolute T, so everything matched up.
Yeah, and with that approach, I imagine that your growth as a drummer had to grow exponentially with that. I mean, you got to focus so much more on the groove and what you want to hit, what needs to be where, and what really should be in the song.
Exactly. It made me focus more so on everybody else rather than, me.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really do appreciate with the new album. I mean, you are able to show off in all the right spots, but you're also playing for the songs as well. And a lot of drummers don't always do that. I mean, either they just play for the song and they never show off, or all they do is show off. I mean, you got that great balance going on.
Yeah, Evan, the guitarist, is he's a great songwriter. He'll come to us with this idea, and we'll almost be like, yeah, we don't want to change anything, dude. You hit that out of the park. So it's great for me to be able to highlight everybody else in the band, because everyone else is so good. Evan is one of the most prolific guitar players I've ever met in my life. Danny's vocals, you can't trample on that stuff.
Yeah, and it's like everyone in the band has their moments to shine, which is the great thing about the band. I mean, whether it's the vocals forefront or there's something there for everyone in the band.
Yeah, there really is, and they're definitely, there's no ego, there's no anything like that. It's like, nope, this is a moment where there's going to be this bass lick right there because Jason is gonna take this moment, or there's going to be this song's going to start with a drum fill, or Evan just has a face melting solo, or Danny has a extremely catchy chorus line, or some sort of hook.
And going with that too, again, just like with the explosion of the band, and just like everything going right for you guys. I mean, how does it feel like from a local setting, like with the dive bars around here, like the Terminal and the Red Sea and venues like that, from going from places like that to like opening for the Myth? I mean, that's such a cool feeling.
Oh, it's a great feeling. I mean, I love bigger shows. That's what I grew up going to. I was growing up going to shows, at Target Center and at the Myth at First Ave. So to me, big venues are where it's at. But man, when you get in that little sweaty club and the stage is 2 feet off the ground and everybody is right on, basically almost on stage, that's the most fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when the fans are either coming there to see you guys or they're checking you out for the first time and really enjoying what you guys are doing. I mean, when you see all the fans like really getting into the music and just like winning them over in that live setting, it's a great feeling.
And that's why I would almost prefer to open a show than the headline and close a show, because when you open it, you're obviously there for someone else. So you're almost like, people come in and think, all right, well, there's a band that played like when we were on that Shinedown run. It's like, oh yeah, there's these 2 bands that played before Shinedown. Like, okay, cool. Well, it's our job to go out there and entertain you for our half an hour and turn you into a fan. And I would love working with a blank slate and looking at people, and I'm going to go, to the biggest crowd we play with Shinedown, which is like 3,500, to like a club in, you name it, Illinois, in front of 30 people. I want 10 of you to buy my record by the end of the night, and I'm going to do what I can to do that.
Oh, that's such a great positive attitude to have. I mean,
and that's the best feeling. Working with a blank canvas and winning people over. People have no idea who you are. You're walking around the bar beforehand. No one gives 2 shits about you. And then you play, and they want to meet you. They want to buy you a drink. They want to buy a CD, have you sign it, take a picture, buy a shirt, to make that, basically, a relationship between strangers turn into a fan is the best feeling I've ever had.
Yeah, I can't imagine a greater feeling than that. I mean, it's one thing to be able to like headline a show and like all these people are there to see you guys, but just like you mentioned with the Shinedown tour, I mean, when you're able to make people who don't care about the opening bands care about you by the end of your set, I mean,
yep.
it shows the quality of the band that's being played and how well you can work that crowd.
Yeah, that's one thing that was really kind of like a testament to us, because we had never done anything like that before. We had opened for nationals in Minnesota and stuff before, coming through like 93X shows and all that sort of business. But to go into a completely unknown area like Anaheim or Medford, Oregon, or Albuquerque or wherever, to where you are literally nobody. You've never been, you've never anything. And to, count your merch sales at the end of the night and go, wow, how many people bought our CD tonight? Wow, we really did win them over. Now we can come back, which is exactly what this upcoming tour in March is all about.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue to get into there. How did this upcoming tour come to be?
That was us in Cold Kingdom realizing that we need to get back to the markets that we went to with Shinedown, because we won over so many people. We knew we had to do it. We were waiting for something to happen. It didn't happen, and we just went, you know what? Let's just buckle the bootstraps and let's get this done. And Jason, our bassist, did a fantastic job booking this tour. We're also going out with another Minneapolis band called Sleep Signals, and they do this kind of stuff a lot. So they had a lot of connections on the route we were looking to go to. And then we had the connections in the Shinedown markets that we were in. So we kind of like split roles. It was kind of like, well, we've never been to Washington. Oh, well, we've been to Washington, so we'll book there. Great, we'll book Oregon because we were there. And it turned into this 5-week monster.
Yeah, and that's so cool to see that. I mean, when local bands that I know are able to rise the way that you guys have and are able to tackle these markets, and these people, just like you said, the first time you go there, no one knows who you are in these situations, and now you're going back and there's fans there that actually want to go and see you guys. I mean, that's such a great feeling. It
really is. And we'll post anything on social media, whether it be our new music video for the break or a photo of whatever, and you get people commenting, when are you coming back to Sacramento? Oh my, we miss you guys in Phoenix. It's like, oh my, we have that range now, and it's a little daunting because we can't just play a show on a Friday and play a show on a Saturday and go home when they're asking for you in Sacramento. We have to plan at least 2 weeks to get out there, so it's a little bit of a daunting task, but it's also fulfilling.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the style of music that you want to play, the songs that you want to write, playing the way you want to play, and being able to tour the United States like that, and it's just it's so cool to be able to see that and being able to actually pull that off.
Yeah, and like I said, that's big ups to Jason, our bassist, on that one for really, really working this super hard. This was kind of his brainchild with the help of Sleep Signals, obviously. He absolutely busted ass on this tour, and he did a fantastic job.
So for anyone that's listening to this, say if no one's seen you guys live or not as familiar with you guys, what should people expect from a Cold Kingdom show?
Energy. We will give you every ounce of sweat that's in our bodies every time. We've seen so many great bands who just on record, they have great songs, and they're, you finally get the chance to go see them live and you get bored with them, which is it's sad, but it happens. Or you've seen bands, grow older throughout the years, and they kind of lose their live flavor. We don't want to be that group. We are all about jumping around and looking at you and yelling and making you feel like you're on stage with us.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about being able to see you guys live, because you really do pull all of that off. I mean, just like everyone in the band is able to pull off that energy, and you got those solid grooves that make everyone else in the band being able to exploit that energy, and it just makes for a great live show. And it's great to see that you guys are able to tackle all these great markets, and I just know it's going to be getting bigger and better from here with everything that you guys have done so far.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. To be able to do this run and then come back home, recharge the batteries, do another little 2-3 week thing, come back, recharge the batteries, and just continuously keep that going until everybody has a Cold Kingdom CD in their collection.
And with that, is there any talks yet about the next EP or LP that's coming out, or are you guys just focusing on the touring aspect right now?
We're really focused on the touring aspect right now. There's always songs that are lying around that we jam for fun, or if we don't have a show coming up, we'll be like, well, let's learn this one, or let's play a riff and see what happens. Yes, this EP is technically, we recorded it a year and a half ago, but we only released it in, what was that, November? Something like that? Mm-hmm. That was like, we actually released it. So to the general public, this record is only 4 months old. So there hasn't really been talks about recording any new music or doing anything like that. We wanna take these songs that we have and take them to distance until we kind of realize well, okay, we have a stockpile of new songs that we really like. Let's get these out again. But I wouldn't expect that to be in the foreseeable future.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of people tend to forget that, too. I mean, when you're writing an album, I mean, it doesn't always just happen, just like within a couple weeks and you're able to release the album immediately. Sometimes it does take like a year or two to get those songs fully out there, and then you go out there and promote those songs. So, like, what is new to the fan base is a little bit older to the band, but it also gives those songs new life when the fan base is able to hear those brand new songs and really start to appreciate them.
And know them, exactly, and know them in their finished form, because there's 2 songs on the record that Cold Kingdom were playing before I had even joined. So some of these songs are 3 years old, but you go back and you watch the old live recordings, like the first or second time we played them live, it's just kind of like that song completely transformed into what it is now. That's almost not even the same song.
Yeah, and that's the awesome thing. I mean, especially when for myself, like in the local setting, just like seeing you guys like pushing your craft like this and being able to just build upon it so much. And when you do have songs that are able to transform like that and they become like a huge songs for you guys, I mean, it's awesome to see that from the outside perspective.
It's awesome to see from the inside perspective. To go to these different markets and see these people who have streamed us on Spotify or iTunes, or have bought the record from our store, or have seen the music, the break music video or something like that, and to hear them chant our chant, "We won't bend till we break," without us even telling them to, is absolutely rad. It's like, oh my gosh, you're actually paying attention. You actually care. You like what we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you do have someone trying to like pump up the crowd and like before the song starts trying to tell them what the words are, but just like in that situation, they actually know the songs. They actually pay attention to the lyrics, and without you having to hype them up, they're doing it. That is so cool.
Yeah, it really is. And then another one of those kind of aha moments is when you start seeing people you don't know at your home shows. So when in older bands, whatnot, when you're kind of still learning the trade, the show is basically like your friends and like your girlfriend, your parents might be there, and like some of your old high school buddies or some of the people you work with. We played a show in November, and I'm looking out there, and there's people wearing Cold Kingdom shirts in my hometown that I have no idea who they are. And it's just kind of like, it's working in Minneapolis too. People are appreciating what we're doing at home. So to be able to build that sort of momentum and that sort of fan base in your hometown is probably one of the more gratifying feelings.
Oh yeah, without a question. I mean, when just like you said, it's just like there's so many of us that just end up playing shows where just pretty much the other bands play, or you're able to finally get like friends or family to actually be able to show up. But yeah, when you're playing a hometown show and there's people you don't recognize showing up there, buying your merch, knowing your songs, I mean, it has such a huge impact on you.
Oh, mega, absolutely huge. And it's so gratifying to know that, whenever we do a hometown show and we do it right, it's going to be like this. And it can only really go up from here.
So with that, I mean, obviously with you joining the band and, again, just like a...
This ain't easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. But yeah, just to see struggles that other bands have, that we have also had, that maybe had ended the band or had made somebody quit, or they have to do whatever, but we are able to stick our noses out and work together and get to another level. That's what I learned. Sometimes you just gotta, it ain't as easy as it looks. We all have our own jobs outside of our stage job, if you will, that we all need to be banging on all 4 cylinders all the time to get this to work.
Well, I can definitely say that it's definitely working out for you guys. I mean, with everything that you've been able to accomplish on the home front, everything that you guys have been able to accomplish with touring and upcoming touring, and the fan base worldwide that's starting happening now. I mean, you guys have just like knocked it out of the park when it comes to this, and it's so exciting to be able to see that, and it's awesome to be able to talk to you about all that, being able to promote the self-titled EP, you know, promote the upcoming touring that's going to be going on. I mean, it's so awesome to see that from here, living in the Minneapolis area, just seeing all of this great stuff happening for you guys, and I just know it's going to get bigger and better from here on out.
Well, I hope you have as fun watching it as I am doing it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, thank you so very much for taking the time to be able to do this. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad that I was finally able to talk to you about everything that's going on in the world of Cold Kingdom, talking about the self-titled release, talking about the awesome touring experiences that you guys have had so far, the rise in popularity that you guys have, and just knowing that you guys are in this for the right reasons and just working so hard, being so dedicated to what you're doing. And I just wish you guys nothing but the best, because you guys definitely deserve it.
Thank you so much for having me, Josh. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad we were finally able to do this.
No, me too. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
I don't know when this is going to be broadcast, but anybody in the Minneapolis area, we're hoping to see you at Route 47, which was formerly Pickle Park in Fridley, on Friday, March 2nd, for our hometown kickoff show for the Torito Supreme Tour. We hope to see everybody there and to make it an even better showing than last time.